Hi, this is just a quick review and a sizing guide for these Off-White Air Zoom Tempo Next Percent. They came out last week on the Sneakers app. I hit. They came in the mail a few days ago, and I noticed that there still haven't been too many videos on these, not even on in the English language or anything. So I wanted to go ahead and go over the shoe and go over the sizing, and I'm going to compare it to a few other models for anybody that might be on the fence. And I'm going to provide some context in that sizing because, some people just kind of leave it at, true to size or go up half a size or go down half a size without, really saying, what else they may find comfortable or not. So anyway, here's the shoes. I'm going to do a real quick 360. I went ahead and laced these with the alternate lacing. These come with a new black lace with a green tip. A little too quiet for this model, in my opinion. So I think I'm going to be keeping both shoes with the white, with the green tips that they came with. While these are cool, they're very reminiscent of the laces that came with most of the shoes from the original Ghosting pack. It's a little quiet for my taste, and I like as much contrast as possible. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep the white on both pairs. So just to finish off the 360 here, that's pretty much the outside of the shoe. On the medial side, you get your standard off-white writing. It says off-white for Nike, Air Zoom Tempo Next Percent, Beaverton, Oregon, USA, 2021. Okay. Now, a lot of people have been hating on these because they have these spikes. Okay. And these spikes, a lot of people just automatically think of the women's, what is it called, the Vapor Street that came out a few years ago. And I think that's a very unfair comparison to make. If anything, these shoes compared to, they would be comparing to the original Zoom Flies from the 10-pack, okay? So, I could see some similarities visually, and hopefully you could see them too. I mean, considering that they are, completely different colors, but the shoes are very similar in shape and construction. The only difference is that I think everybody, for the most part, agrees that these ran very short. And not only that, but this material didn't have a lot of any stretch whatsoever. So most everybody had to go either a half size up or a full size up. I went a full size because unfortunately I'm a size 13, so I had to get these in a 14, and they fit me just fine. These, on the other hand, they fit me true to size. I got these in a 13 on a gamble, and the gamble paid off. I got lucky, and they actually fit me properly. Now, the reason I compare these to the Zoom Flies and not the Vapor Street is because these actually have technology. This is not a very cheap shoe. These were $280 US retail. They have React, they have Zoom X, they have a carbon fiber, and they have the Air Zoom in the forefront of the shoe. So it's a pretty high-tech shoe. These, pretty much for the most part had the foam midsole, and they had a carbon fiber plate going throughout it. The Vapor Street do not have any tech like that, to my knowledge. It's just a very aggressively styled shoe, but it's very much a lifestyle shoe. It was reflected in the price, just not so much in the styling of it. So if you're going to be comparing it to anything in the collection, it would be the Zoom Flies. It would not be the Vapor Street. That would be an injustice to the shoe. So now, in terms of how they actually fit, if I'm to compare the fit on feet to anything that I do have, it would be the Vapor Max, off-white or otherwise. There's a little bit of a tightness right here. It's not discomfort, all right? It's just tightness that that can be adjusted because this middle part right here is stretchy. Okay, so if you want it a little bit tight, you could go ahead and just lace them tight. If you want them loose, just loosen up the laces and you're good to go. The shoe here, it has a very it's not the lowest ceiling in the world, but and what I mean by ceiling is from the top of the insole to this part right here. If it's too low, it could be very uncomfortable for a lot of people, which was a problem for people with with the Air Max 97s. The Air Max 97 isn't a very tall shoe. It's a properly long shoe, but it's not a tall shoe. So like if you have very thick feet, especially in the toe area, this shoe is going to be extremely uncomfortable for you. But if you have, you know, relatively shallow feet like I do, it's true to size. These Zoom Tempos, on the other hand, they are true to size not only lengthwise but widthwise. The only problem would be here if you have a thick foot, and you might find the shoe to be uncomfortable. In that regard, I would recommend a half size up. However, if you're 13 like I am, you know, you might want to think twice, because getting these in a 14, I would assume it would be too big. Okay, so you know, this just might not be the model for you if you do have a 13 and you know tend to have a, you know, fatter foot. Other than that, I mean, they do fit well. You know, just one thing to mention is that they do have kind of like a loose construction up here. It's not cheap. It's just very loose construction, and it's almost as if you know, this pattern is coated with plastic. And I don't know if you'd be able to hear it, you know, me scratching right there, but it's very plasticky, but it's not uncomfortable, and you know, it doesn't hurt or anything like that. You know, it's a very firm shoe. Kind of looks like an avocado to me, sort of. But you know, as a result of me having a relatively shallow foot, I guess the idea here is that, you know, you could, you know, kind of alter the appearance of the shoe somewhat, depending on what socks you wear. I think that's an idea that they also had with the Vapor Max, except again, because I have a shallow foot, you know, my toes aren't too big going vertically. I can't ever really exploit that. You know, I could put on any color sock, and you know, it's just gonna get lost, you know, in this part that's supposed to really show it off. The same thing happens in my Vapor Max, and you know, pretty much in anything that you know I'm supposed to really wear socks in, other than the Zoom Flies themselves, because you know the shoe itself is entirely transparent. These do have a I want to call it Volt, but I don't know. You know, you'll see why in a little bit. But you know, the same thing, just kind of like an updated, you know, with the current date, which is 2021. But otherwise, it's just standard off-white Nike hang tag with the, you know, I don't know if that's black or gray print. I don't know. I don't have the best lighting in here. But you know, whether you want to keep it on or off, that's really up to you. I tend to keep it on, although I think I may reverse it so that it doesn't drag. You know, keep it orientated like so. Because I think having it like this, no matter how I tighten the lace lock, you know, there's no way that I'll be able to, you know, kind of keep this from dragging. The lace lock's kind of a pain, all right? It's not bad if you're going to go ahead and just keep these white laces on there, or, you know, if you have another color of the shoe, you know, if you don't change the laces, that's fine. But this lace lock is a problem if you're going to be switching out the laces, because the paint on this it's a really hard tip to pass through these holes. All right, so just, you know, relacing this shoe was just not a lot of fun. Relacing the shoe is also not as straightforward as it appears to be. I guess it's probably easier to point it out on the white, but you would have to go probably like, you go, instead of, you know, crisscrossing like you do a normal pair of shoe, you have to go from here to here. So under, over, under, over, under, over. So you only cross and then you go under, over. So like under here, like under this tongue, you don't feel any lacing whatsoever. The other thing that a lot of people have been kind of talking about this shoe is the fact that you know, they're kind of hard to put on. They have this extra little piece to the tongue here that's I guess unique to the off-white version of this shoe. This part is stretchy and soft. You know, it's very, you know, I don't know what to call it, but soft, very soft. Whereas the main tongue right here is very firm. You know, it has structure to it. So if you were to actually, like, you know, put your shoes on by using this as the tongue, you're gonna have a problem. If you use this, the shoe's not hard to put on whatsoever. So now back to the hang tag. You know, where I kind of erred on calling it Volt, well, I actually do have the pair of Serena Williams's, and there's a kind of, I don't know, the colors don't really match up. Like the one on the Zoom Tempo is like a little bit more green. I don't know if you could see the difference, but one's more green. The bottom one is like true Volt. So like this is like, I don't know, like just a slightish bit of green in there, to the, I guess, unless you have them side by side, you won't be able to tell the difference. But, just for the sake of accuracy, I would not call these exactly a Volt. So, like, now in terms of like how the shoe fits and works and everything like that, it's a ride. It is great. I don't think these spikes are going to last very long. I don't think they're ever really meant to. They're not hard. They're not hard by any means. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, in after a few wears on some concrete or a gravel road or whatever, they're gonna wear off, and especially if you're gonna be running in these, which it is a performance shoe. So I don't really, that's not my kind of thing, but I don't think these spikes are going to last very long. And once they go away, it's going to, feel, I'm going to imagine it's going to feel a lot like these. All right. Now, again, the comparison to these, like these came out in 3 colors: white, which is the Japan exclusive, but I mean, it's still not horribly unobtainable on, the aftermarket. Black, of course, and pink. And with the Zoom Flies, you had white, black, and pink. So I love this shoe, and I don't wear it too much because I always kind of tend to look at like used pairs on GOAT to see like how this shoe can age. I see toe marks on here sometimes. Of course, you get the wrinkling here. I'm really not a heavy person, so I don't get much of the wrinkling myself. But, you get some yellowing and whatever. I mean, the shoe will eventually deteriorate with some time. So I always toyed with the idea of getting the black version of the Zoom Flyer, maybe even the pink one. But now that I scored on these, I don't think I will ever get the black. I'm going to be keeping these and just skipping the black or the pink Zoom Fly forever. I think the black version of these actually look better than the black version of the pink version of these look better than the pink version of the Zoom Flies. And, they have some really interesting colors going on there and some really cool laces. But, this just, it's really probably a more advanced shoe than the Zoom Fly. So for a fraction of the price, you can get these in any of the 3 colors, and they will still be cheaper than the original Zoom Fly and probably more durable as well. So if you missed out or you can't really afford any of the Zoom Fly models, you could get these for a considerable price difference. The 10 version of the Zoom Flies that they're upwards of $1,000 depending on your size. The white version of these are about $400, $500. These have the lowest resale value, which was the surprising part. Everyone thought that the pink was going to be the lowest, but I think people like the craziness of the pink, and this one ended up being the lowest. This is still hovering below 400, and the pink one's hovering a little bit around 400, like above sometimes, depending on your breaks. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good shoe, and it's one that I'll definitely be keeping. It's not too often that I actually hit on something, and this is actually the first collab that I've ever actually won. I've had to pay resale for everything else that I've ever wanted. In terms of the box, nothing too special. It's just your typical, holy silver Nike box that comes with like the dunks and those women's models that they came out with, like the Vapor Street and the what is it? I forgot the name of the other, waffle racers. Now what's different is just that I didn't get any stickers in mine. I don't know why. They did come with these weird foamy pad things on the side. Otherwise, you get your standard tissue paper that we're all familiar with like dunks and all those weird women's models that they came out with. You get 2 sets of laces, the black, you get the white, and they come in this little Ziploc baggy red stripe. I don't know if that's going to help with any authenticity or anything, but I don't really think that these are going to be really bootlegged all that much. I don't think that prices are going to be going up. So if you're planning on getting these for the sake of investing and thinking that they're going to go up to thousands of dollars like all off-whites usually do, or rather most off-whites usually do, I don't think this is going to be happening here. The Zoom Fly is not the most popular model. If you look at this, the selling trends on StockX and Goat, they sell once every blue moon. And while the price tags on them are high, what's important when you're trying to sell on resale is looking at how frequently a shoe sells. And so they may cost a lot, but not a lot of people are buying them, so it's not very popular. You want something that's arguably better. They might not look better, and they're not going to get the attention of the Zoom Flies, but they're still off-white. It's still a collab. It's still a nice looking shoe, and you get it for a fraction of the price. So yeah, I mean, I just really can't complain too much about them. I think that they fit great. They look great. It's a very comfortable shoe, and if you could fit it, hopefully my little sizing guide helps. I'm the kind of person that I go true to size on just about everything except for the off-white Zoom Flies, Yeezys, and yeah, that's about it. Everything else is true to size: Dunks, Jordans, Air Force Ones, whatever. Like I go 13. These fit me just fine. So yeah, hopefully all this helps, and I think I may be able to splice in some of the on feet that I took at my better lit parents' house. And yeah, so hopefully this helps you make up your mind one way or another. And yeah, remember, just for a fraction of the price, you could have something that's more durable, probably more wearable, and arguably a better performing shoe than the Zoom Fly. So you can get it for a fraction of the price. If you keep that in mind, I think you'll be more than happy with the purchase that you make. So keep that in mind, and hope you choose wisely. And hopefully you like the on feet as well. Take care. Bye bye.